first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Joe Mixon. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 5.
Play action. It's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
4-yard line.
Play action. Now Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He'll try and run it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
11 yards there, first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
It's now
out of the shotgun. They run with Mixon. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
4. Makes it 3rd and 2.
They go play action with Jackson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Nobody ever wants the interception on the opening drive to happen, but when it happens in the playoffs, it feels like it's a bigger deal. What a rough start.
And how about these visitors? The defense just went right on the field and seized momentum. You know, almost like they're saying, okay, no one expects us to win this one. Let's go ahead and give them a shock early. Took the ball from the home team and put them in the hole.
Because this crowd, one of the best in the league, especially this time of year, it's going to be tough to take them out of it, but that's a heck of a start. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working. But how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They snapped that at 1. Now it's Burrow.
And he rifles one incomplete. Demarcus Robinson, the intended target on that one.
And that takes us from second to third down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
On third down, Burrow. That's caught. It's Demarcus Robinson. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
On first down, Hines. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 41-yard line.
Burrow on play action. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick.
Complete to Tim.
They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
And it's third down.
We're scoreless after one.
Quarter with no score.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. They face a third down, 3rd and 3. From midfield now, Burrow. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he is going to have a Bengals first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Now, this is a feeling I can relate to all too well. Deflation on 3rd and short. Excellent coverage. Took away all the short routes, but the one person who wasn't accounted for, the quarterback. And he used his legs to hot-foot it for a first down.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. And they go play action now. Burrow. He'll air this one out for Boyd. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Mixon with a first down carry. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Brings up 2nd
to throw is Jackson.
At the Bengals.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Everson Griffin, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Jackson from the shotgun. Buying time to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
It's a gain of 9.
Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
27-yard line.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. This is Mixon. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Give him 7 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
3rd and 4.
From the gun again to Mixon. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Logan Wilson. A gain of only a yard.
In 4th down, here's Jackson. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Bengals drive about to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's Hines. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one good for 33 and a first. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, there's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have them pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the 2nd half of this AFC wildcard game. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight. Maybe not this tight. Scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage. And now 3rd and 11 coming up. Third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete.
This nigga dropped the ball.
Too good there. The contact popped
Oh my
the ball
God.
free, and it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Fielded at the 20. So the punt goes for 56 with a decent return of 13. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
From the gun on third down is Burrow. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have
I just think it just be breaking off.
Against this guy, he's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Ball carrier.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Again, it's Mixon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
It's now 3rd down and 6.
They go play action now. Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
They'll take over.
Well, it's a cold night. And whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And they take him down, losing yardage.
He must have that cheese ass no outside.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They go play action with Burrow.
Man,
and
come on, Burrow.
Going to be intercepted yet again.
Can't throw a dig route?
Picked off at the 39. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
On 2nd and goal. Jackson. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing 3rd and goal. Jackson. Got a man, it's caught.
That's not my man, so what? You just not going to cover your man.
There to make the grab. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
For the extra point.
And the Ravens lead at 7-0.
Good. Makes the score. Ravens 7. Bengals nothing.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They trail by a touchdown here in the fourth quarter. Their season, to be frank, it's on the line right now in this wild card matchup. And obviously points are a must here as they begin 1st and 10. Now it's Hines. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Feel, huh?
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
On second down, here's Burrow. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. He's picked off at his own 46.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Mixon. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
At the 16-yard line. 1 yard gain. Brings up
off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Being chased out left. And this is caught.
That's all you want to fucking do.
Baltimore. Calvin Ridley there to make the grab. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Ravens 14, Bengals nothing.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. To Marcus Robinson, the intended target on that one. But now it'll be 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line.
Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they are looking good. A 2-score lead here in this fourth quarter as they hope to capture a spot in the divisional round next weekend. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The Ravens on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
He'll return it from the 6. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we were talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
Joe Mixon.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
At the 11-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Tucker's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Calais Campbell in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On second down, Burrow. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down. Burrow on third down. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go
I don't know what I want
4th and 3.
Probably with defense.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. That would have been a first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football.
The turnover on downs.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Right.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one good for 21 yards. And it'll move the chains. And I know it's hard to find solace on one side when the season ends, no matter where it ends, but especially in the playoffs, because there's all that build up to the moment. But I would imagine the post-game locker room speech, it'll have a pretty positive spin.
It should. They've made a heck of a run to get to the playoffs and have that chance to advance, even though they didn't. But you're right about how much it's going to hurt, because when you work that hard to get this far, it hurts just a little bit more. No matter when your season ends, it's a downer. But in this case, even more so because you had your eyes on the big prize, which was the Lombardi Trophy.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.
Boy, that's some ugly stats right there.